Hello there, I'm Melouche. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to make a video before the season ends to share my method for reward distribution this season because I know how hard it is to be fair when the game contribution ranking is so unfair. So how are rewards distributed technically? On the first day of tally, so this will be Monday reset next week, you can't score points anymore and your guild R5 can enter a reward screen that will look like this, but with a distribute button under each section. When the R5 clicks on distribute, they arrive on the members list ranked by their total contribution. They can click on a name and confirm sending a reward. They can't send a reward to themselves or to the person who was R5 at Monday reset, and they can't send a reward to someone who already got a reward. The players who got a reward are not hidden from the list, so it gets a bit tricky when you start distributing powerhouse and member rewards, because if you skip a name and see you have a reward left at the end, there is no way to know who got a reward already and who was skipped, so you have to start the list again. You can change R5 during tally, so different group leaders can be in charge of their groups, but just remember to make sure the next R5 got their reward already, because only the person who was R5 exactly at Monday reset will get the leader reward, and the next R5 can distribute their prize to themselves. If someone is entirely forgotten in the manual reward distribution and they don't say anything, so the R5 doesn't fix it, they will automatically get the highest reward still available at the end of tally, so Friday reset. If multiple players were forgotten and different types of rewards are still left, they will get the highest reward possible following the contribution ranking. Before we continue on my exclusive method for fair and drama-free reward distribution, I'd like to take a minute of your time to talk about the sponsor of this channel, Huawei App Gallery. Huawei App Gallery is an application store for Android device like Google Play. If you've not done it already, download Huawei App Gallery on your Android phone or Android emulator on computer with the link in the description of the video, and download Last Shelter Survival again through Huawei App Gallery. I know you already have Last Shelter on your device, but once you download it through Huawei App Gallery and add your account in it, then you can benefit from the cashback promotions and reduction on packs, like the Halloween season promotion. Now and until November the 2nd, you can claim €1, €2, €4 and €20 coupons that can be used for buying packs. On top of that, you also get 15% reduction on all purchases until November the 2nd. And finally, click on a pumpkin to get an activation code for 2 super tickets. For the highest spenders, buying for €1,000 of packs per month or more, take time first to join the VIP program to get a permanent 15% cashback on all purchases in Last Shelter Survival. Enjoy your cheap packs and leave a comment below if you have any question. Now back to our rewards. What criteria are irrelevant in contribution ranking? All tiling points scored after the guild level is at 50 are not representative of a member's contribution to the guild victory. Sure, you want them to tile fight and not keep this section at 0, but a member who path, bridge, cleans the empty tiles, defend your territory in the desert is as valuable, if not more, and the score will not represent that. Destruction points show activity to a certain extent. Past a certain amount, the main factors generating the difference in scores are how close people manage to teleport to targets. So if they plan, if they reserve pads before the targets become targets, if they are in the right time zone, and of course if they are smart with maximizing destruction. Wonders is also a score I consider less important because there isn't really so many days where it's crucial to achieve a certain halo. And the score difference gets really high between a spender or a non-spender or someone who sacrificed their honor structures development. I want to value those who upgraded their wonders at all. I want to value slightly more those who went all in to get us halos and high ranking. But this is not a criteria that would be so relevant for the rewards because we don't count of that stone donation effect, you know? Like players backseating the season because they could spend 5 minutes upgrading wonders for the ranking. It shouldn't be overrated. So what to value in this season? Of course, the hidden feat. Hidden feat is where it's at. Those guys with high hidden feat sacrifice their specialty development in order to hold the front, to make more land takeable, and to reverse the power balance of the map. Unlike tiling or destruction or wonders, hidden feat is not a score you can increase on your own schedule or plan to increase at specific times. Having a high hidden feat means having jumped on game when necessary, being reactive to changes of schedule, being observing of the map, of the movement, having planned teleportation points close enough, and maybe having defended those for 1 hour and 35 minutes. Also, sort of value the general contribution as it represents the versatility of a player, like how they adapt to different kind of tasks. Of course, something is badly missing in the game contribution ranking, and it's a fair acknowledgement of the invisible contributions: leadership, diplomacy, strategy, flag, path, etc. We'll come back to it. Enter the data you have from contribution ranking. Let's go for the nerd task now. Welcome to my spreadsheet. You can find the link in the description. Your first task is to decide when to stop counting the extra points. For me, that was last week, when we reached peace and started on our farming. The reason is that the points changed after that are like almost inversely proportional to the quality of the players. Because your smartest players will have already finished season challenge and not need extra quests. They will care for their specialty growth and honor farming score 0 points. Those who will farm contribution points have to sacrifice on their specialty development, and this is not a smart way to play. I do not want to reward this. So when we choose a time, we enter names and state, and as fast as possible, all the game score for this: contribution, tiling, demolition, hidden feat, and wonders. Get help, ask in your guild. There always is 1 or 2 people who don't mind filing in spreadsheets and will even enjoy this insider view. You want to finish in a day to be as accurate as possible. I do it from computer, so I don't even leave the contribution ranking screen from player 1 to last, and it avoids the scores updating between different players I enter in the table. You can find in the description of the video a link to download LD Player, which is an Android emulator to play on computer. Add the qualitative scores. We have now a modificator column. This season I was presenting this method to the guild we merged in, and we had a strong language barrier. There are Chinese alliance with no English speaker in leadership, so it was crucial to keep it simple. OR5 get 10 points, R4 get 5 points, flag get 1 point, reliable flag get 2 points, path get 1 point, reliable path get 2 points, reliable flag and path get 5 points. This represents as accurately as possible the contribution from players who prioritize the guild success over their own points and personal growth. Depending on your situation this season, you might want to add criteria to modify the amount of points. For instance, I usually consider those who rush to level 16 as it's a gameplay requiring a huge sacrifice on troops and on durability while you're forcing. Careful, as it's a qualitative criteria, you want to double check this score with other leaders, especially from different alliances, states, and in different time zones. You can use the notes section to share information. The algorithm. Now, what is this total score? This is, here my friends, the reason you want that spreadsheet. This is the algorithm I've been working on since the first season to craft a fully fair ranking. in opposition to the game contribution ranking. That can be explained to all members with transparency to prevent before selfish behaviors during wars. Support the strategy with powerful incentive to follow the leadership decision, and limit the drama when rewards are finally distributed. Let's see it. If colon B, so the state, is 655, deduct 2 points. If not, nothing changes. This is because 655 Guild Shell was the oath this season for us. So to be fair, with those who join later, we take those 2 points off. This could be more if the merge had happened later and the scores of 655 were higher, but in our case, this is fine and far less complicated than adding the scores from previous guilds of players merging, as we merged almost all members within the first 2 weeks. To use a simple version, just change 655 by the state number of the alliance that created the guild shell you're merging in. Next, you see colon C, so overall contribution, minus 10,000 and divided by 10,000. This is a modification on contribution points. Negative points for those below 10,000 points, and in our case it was reaching a maximum of 17 points. Colon D divided by 10,000, this is a modification on tiling points. This ranges in our case between 0 and 5 points, so we say this is not a key factor in the final result. Colon E divided by 8,000. This is a modification on destruction. This ranges between 0 and 40 in our case this season. Maybe it's too much, but it allows to make a good difference in the lower tier between someone not participating at all and someone trying to be here. Colon F divided by 1,000. This is a modification on hidden feet. This ranges between 0 and 43 in our case, making it the most important value in this algorithm. Colon G divided by 10,000. This is a modification on wonders. This ranges between 0 and 8 for our guild. Most people get 1 point here, but it shows those who really put an effort to get us in the top 3 and get us a halo. Finally, we add the number in the colon I. This is a modificator on unquantifiable contribution we saw earlier. I gave 10 points for F5 job, so 655 F5, 655 Co-F5 and myself, 5 points for F4 job, 1 point for flag or path, 2 points for reliable flag or path, 3 points for flag plus path, 5 points for 100% reliable flag and path. Sort out the ranking. Use your intuition to double check the ranking given out by this algorithm. Maybe you want to do some adjustment or sending me feedback if the results don't seem satisfying. To be honest, I am not modifying the algorithm much anymore for a bunch of seasons now, because we're satisfied with the final ranking. So I believe in its efficiency, but I'm open to receiving feedback, especially from alliances with different playstyle. Here in the last columns, you can enter the rewards your guild is attributed. As it's a merge, I send it to 655 as a suggestion of rewards, and we iterate it with all particular cases together until we got it right. This template takes into consideration the rewards quality for season tickets, ranging in that order for losing side. 1 time rank 2 leader, 2 season X tickets. 10 times rank 1 powerhouse, 2 season X tickets. 19 times rank 2 core reward, 2 season X tickets. 90 times rank 2 powerhouse, 1 season X ticket. 20 times rank 6 leader or core reward, 1 season X ticket. 90 times rank 2 member, 0 season tickets. The last column indicates in Chinese the number of season X tickets for each reward. 2 options: discussion, vote, or match directly with the rewards. Now start your first round of optimization. You can go with a ranking untouched or make a vote, for instance for the top rewards to get a final human touch on the ranking. I like to take 150% of the number of the core rewards, or here we could take top 45 players, which is 150% of the amount of rewards with 2 tickets, and make a vote among all leaders, where all leaders are allowed 29 votes, as for the 10 times rank 1 powerhouse and 19 times rank 2 core reward. Then it changes the base ranking, or not, by ranking more qualitatively this top 45. If you go with no vote, taking the ranking untouched, it still requires a little bit of discussion with your co-leaders. You really can't escape communication if you want to do this well. What is left to be discussed depends entirely on your situation. For us this season, 3 main things were to be discussed. I usually deduct 5 points in the modificator part of the algorithm for bases that I know are secondary accounts, like with flag or farm or a number in the name. But I can't read Chinese. And our partner had some farms which task was to push our wonders and score decently as a result. So with the input of our Core 5, we could downgrade the reward of such bases to the minimum to reward main bases instead. Second issue was the rank 6 guild had no city in other sectors and would only host 20 players, so they wouldn't get the player power to get a city in another sector. We had 3 or 4 players ranking, so they would get a core reward in rank 6 guild, but couldn't join the guild because born in a different sector. We adjusted those rewards as well. Finally, 2 of the merged alliances joined us upon the promise of a certain amount of rewards. So for keeping our word, those 2 specific alliances got their rewards adjusted accordingly. The players in rank 58 and 68 got upgraded to core reward. It feels unfair after you saw all those efforts put in analysis of activity, but this is the price we paid as a group for gaining unity and trust on an unpopulated map. Inform those with the best rewards and adjust, iterate. Okay, now you did your leader sync. Do not just wait tally to distribute. Inform your members with the best rewards. I'll tell you why. From my experience, there always are members who decline their reward and ask to give it to someone who needs it more. Maybe it's only an alliance tradition, but you'd be surprised if you give your members the opportunity to behave altruistically. Thanks to my Core 5 Savage from 655 for giving me his place in rank 1 reward, and thanks to Darkstar Rix for proactively reaching out to me and demanding to get minimum reward to let space for others. Thanks to Somali Pirate, best killer of this season, for exchanging his top reward for minimum reward. I quote him, hoping this will inspire some of you to keep being kind to each other. Mel, please give my powerhouse reward to someone in FWB who is a great team player and not a spender, or don't spend much. They will get more benefits from the rewards than me. Beer emoji. I am okay with just member reward. I get 2 heroes from quests, so it's okay. I basically only need the new heroes, so I have 2 out of 10 chance with drawing heroes. This results is high wastage. A non-spender will get much more benefit. And those moments of gratitude are exactly why I stay F5 and enjoy this reward time the most. Enjoy your last days to focus on your own growth, honor farming, quest, and I hope to see you all fresh and rested next Wednesday at 2 p.m. game time for my weekly live streaming. Until then, keep playing smart and do your adjudicators and Wendels every day. Bye!